Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. This is Anonymous T. Hope you're having an amazing day today. So we've got to have a talk, you guys. As you guys know, I had reviewed Kandi's new spinoff show, Kandi the Gang, and the ratings are in, you guys. The ratings are in to an abysmal 0.491, so about almost 500,000 viewers. But this is a long cry from the debut of Portia's recent spinoff that had nearly 900,000 viewers. That was even getting in more viewers compared to a whole Real Housewives of Salt Lake City franchise in itself. And the question is why? What went wrong? Kandi Burruss had 10 times the amount of promo that Portia did for Portia's spinoff show. Kandi and her mom and her aunts, they were at the New York Stock Exchange. There was press everywhere for the show, billboards all over from sea to shining sea. Like, what is going on? Let me tell you what's going on, you guys. And I said this in my previous video when I reviewed the show. While Kandi understands that, some people may find her boring, she'll incorporate her employees and her family to bring in the drama. But the thing of it is, what type of drama are we really tuning in for, you guys? Because if this was supposed to be like similar to a Welcome to Sweetie Pies or the black version of Vanderpump Rules, it completely missed the mark in those categories. While a lot of people like Kandi, I feel like overall, maybe these spinoffs for her may have ran its course. And Bravo can try to get in front of it and say that they allegedly want to look at the 7-day ratings and see if there's how much of a tick there is. But basically, after the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City reunion aired, literally 300,000 people turned the channel. But that's not even to say that it was even 300,000 people that turned the channel. That's just the drop off from the different shows. There's some people who don't even watch Real Housewives of Salt Lake City that specifically were tuning in to see Kandi's show. And for that to only have nearly 500,000 viewers, and I just think it's just disappointing. And it doesn't help matters that there's still continuous articles coming out about the bad health grades that Kandi's restaurants have, and all of these sanitary issues and all these issues with the food, not being cold or frozen to appropriate temperatures. So it's just very bad. It is very bad. And I don't know how this is going to recover this season. Because what are we signing up for? And for people who want to say, oh, people were just tuning into Portia's show because of the drama of her and being with Simon. Well, what about her last spinoff show with Dennis? Why were people tuning in for that? Whether you like Portia or not, she is polarizing. She has a fan base, and she also has a lot of people who do not like her but still tune in to see what is going to happen or what shenanigans are going to take place. That's not the same thing as, when it pertains to Kandi. The last time people were really tuned in to Kandi's spinoff is when, she had the whole marriage drama with Todd and, the prenup issue, as well as the Escape spinoff, because a lot of people are Escape fans. So they wanted to see, if they could resolve their beef and go on tour together and get all of that ironed out. But at this point, what are we tuning in for? What is this show supposed to give us? I think to compare this to Vanderpump Rules and why that show has been successful and why that has lasted for 9 seasons is that a lot of Lisa Vanderpump's employees were broke, right? They were broke, but Lisa Vanderpump was able to, because of her luxurious lifestyle, she was able to put the glam into the show to make it pop. And I feel like that is what is missing with Kandi. Kandi is not putting any type of glam into the show to make it pop. She just has her name on all these businesses and all these ventures to get a check. But where is the priorities? Where is the effort into these projects so that you can put together a decent show? Having Kandi just being the figurehead and her checking in once every so often on these restaurants compared to Vanderpump Rules, where you saw a lot more hands-on Lisa Vanderpump, who I think now owns 4 restaurants, and it might even be more now because she just has the restaurant that just opened in Las Vegas. But she is very proactive, in the day-to-day of these restaurants. And on a typical day, you are going to find Lisa Vanderpump and her husband at one of these restaurants, and not just for a photo op, but like genuinely there to make sure the business is running the way it needs to be. And I feel like this is the problem when you spread yourself too thin. Eventually, certain ventures start to drop off as a result in the quality and in the amount of production and everything else that should be top notch. But it just really was underwhelming. It was really embarrassing, to be honest with you guys. It was honestly embarrassing to look back on it, because Kandi is one of the wealthiest housewives, like literally over all franchises, and obviously one of the most wealthy ones of Atlanta. But the long-standing issue with Kandi is, to some degree, she's cheap, right? To some degree, there's this cheapness and there's this tackiness and these cutting corners and things of that nature, to where it diminishes the quality of the product. So when we're watching this show and Kandi is aware of the terrible ratings that her restaurant's getting, she's aware of so many people who can't stand her host and the attitude, and she is aware of, all of these different health violations that are being assessed at every inspection and have yet to be above a grade C. You're aware of all these things, but what are you doing to improve it? Yeah, you brought in Phil for this show. Yeah, you're bringing in some of your former employees on the show to bring you drama and entertainment. But what are you doing overall to improve the quality of your restaurants? Yes, for now, it's going to be a tourist draw as something to say that they did, to be affiliated for those of you who are Housewives fans, to say, hey, I went to Kandi's restaurant. But at what expense is this, right? At what expense is this? To basically see all of their dirty laundry, all of the drama that is taking place, and turns people off from actually wanting to go to this restaurant. This spinoff was supposed to entice people to go to the restaurant. But if you're going to be waiting for 2 hours and not start on time, if there is going to be ongoing issues of the power going out, and as a result of the power going out, you not being able to get your food, then the air conditioning not working and all this other stuff, then it starts to get hot, and this happens on a regular basis. And the long wait times, even if after you waited for 2 hours outside, there's still an even longer wait if you do choose to go inside to get a drink at the bar or what have you. It's just a lot. And it depends on who's working that's going to give you the right customer service. If you have a hostess that doesn't really care, that shows up whenever, why should I even bother eating at your restaurant if you don't care? Based on the inspections, it was a disaster. I mean, some people can literally be at risk of having some health issues. So, real talk, you guys. And so I don't know where we go from here. Even if ratings go up, right? What are we expecting this show to achieve? We can praise Kandi for always getting a check, always signing up for things, always getting all these different businesses. But again, what is the cost? At what cost is this? People so bad wanted to make this a Kandi versus Portia thing on who spinoff's going to get better. People, are swearing up and down that Portia's going to be fired from Bravo and Bravo is done with her. But people still watch Portia. Lover or hater, people still tune in. Eyeballs still tune in to what she is doing and what she is up to, whether or not it agrees with your personal moral compass. But you can't say the same for Kandi. And it could be the same, hangover that Real Housewives fans that have felt for the past few seasons, that Kandi really hasn't been bringing it to the show as well. That they turned more into her YouTube channel for Speak on it than they do her scenes on the actual show. So it's like, at what cost, you guys, are we, just signing up to do all of these ventures, but then the quality's not there? And really, Kandi really wasn't there when you think about it in the grand scheme of things in the episode. She was really there in the beginning to onboard the new manager. She was there for like a hot second when the restaurant opened and then dipped out. And then she was only back there again for when they had the reunion party. But the way that those employees reacted to them was like they haven't seen them in 6 months. Real talk. And that's the thing with these businesses. A part of running a business is you need to be hands-on in the actual business to make sure that it's successful. And Kandi and Todd have not been hands-on in quite some time. And the fact that they still refuse to get a generator, and it's 4 or 5 years since this restaurant's been open, is beyond me. And both restaurants had to shut down because of health code violations, which is a problem. And they still haven't improved, which is also a problem. So again, I get sometimes people don't want to spend money and don't want to, keep their purses tight and whatever else. But sometimes you have to improve the overall ambiance and the overall experience of your clients and your customers. And it may temporarily, like I said, not be a big deal for people, but eventually those loyal customers are going to rebel too. Because they're going to feel a certain way that it's been 5 years, this restaurant's been open, and it's the same issues as it was 5 years ago. So I am really curious as to where things go from here, because if the drama on the show is going to be about 30-year-old workers who do not want to work at this restaurant, as well as people hooking up with their coworkers, and Kandi coming in every once in a while, to tell Phil that not to be hard on her favorites because they were, quote, loyal to her, but they're not doing a good job performance-wise at the restaurant. So they're actually now a liability. They're actually now an actual issue. So I'm just very curious as to where things go from here. Where do we go from here with this show? Even if ratings do improve, where do we go from here? Because there's so many people that I've talked to about this, and they are tuned out. They do not even want to go to the restaurant after watching this show, which is not the effect this show is supposed to have. The show is supposed to be like a Sweetie Pies. It's supposed to be like a Vanderpump Rules, where you're watching the show, you're looking at the glitz, you're looking at the glam, you're looking at how good the food looks and how good the drinks are made and everything else, and you want to take a trip out to Atlanta and see what the hype is about. But instead, you're so turned off from all the problems, from all the drama, from the lack of Kandi and Todd being there to be there for the day-to-day, and you're just not invested. And some of these employees are not that interesting enough to carry the show. I think we were expecting more of the old lady gang than we were some of these new people. But again, when the foundation is shaky, what are you expecting to happen? So that is all the thoughts that I have. What do you guys think? What do you guys think of these ratings? You would have thought with all this promo that took place that at least it would have gotten close to 1 million views. At least close to 1 million. And it completely flopped. And like I said, it was 10 times the promo that we saw, Bravo do with Portia. And even Portia herself even stopped promoting her own show and still was getting ratings. So make it make sense. And even Portia was promoting Kandi's show more than her own spinoff show and still could not get the ratings. So what does that tell you? What does that tell you, you guys? Because this isn't going to be a Kim Zolciak situation where she's just going to continue to have a spinoff for years and years and years with terrible ratings. It's not going to work like that for, this type of spinoff. So I'm very curious to see moving forward, what happens. And whether or not this would be the last spinoff that Bravo does with Kandi. But let me know your guys' thoughts. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I will talk to you guys again very soon.